Is he all good? Or
Who's that?
Brian Thomas. And then Patrick McCarry was out for a little bit.
He's had a little back spasm. Yeah, just a little tight back. He'll be all right.
With Brian and then kind of the offense overall, when you have a day like today, how do you kind of talk to them and get them back on track?
Yeah, no, not necessarily think it was a bad day. It's just we didn't make any plays. You know, like we got a ton of opportunities to make plays when the ball's in the air. We got to make those plays. And whether it's ball placement, whether it's making a play when the ball's in the air, it's got to be ours. So, I thought we ran it pretty well at times today in terms of just getting on the right targets and hitting the runs the right way. So it was a balance, but more so I think they understand that we got to go make those plays.
What have been your impressions of Tank so far?
Yeah, I think the last few days he's just continuing to get used to the runs, right? There's mid zone, wide zone, gap, right? Just getting used to the flow of those runs. What's the intent of those runs? I thought he did a nice job over the last few days of kind of, making good second level cuts and getting vertical. So I've been pleased with him so far.
Are you guys limiting Armstead?
Yeah, just a little bit, just trying to get him into the swing of it with, individual and stuff like that.
Injury reasons?
No, just, just kind of giving him a little bit of a veteran start.
What about Johnny Butler?
Yeah, he's just going to be out for a few days. Day to day right now, we're just kind of figuring it out.
For Travis, how do you think he's handled having offensive days, having defensive days, just the rhythm of that so far?
I think it's weird. It's probably harder, I mentioned this before, like logistically for us as coaches to navigate it and make sure that we're making use of all of his time. I think it doesn't bother him as much. He's pretty unfazed by some of this stuff. So, these next few days will be very important though, because he was on defense today. We have an off day tomorrow, making sure that he's ready to go for the next few days. So he'll have to use this weekend, the off day tomorrow as well, to make sure that he's studying on offensive stuff. So he's been great in terms of his attitude and just kind of the way he approaches it.
For the defense to not have Buster, and you've seen a couple of those young guys, Jarian, Zach McPherson yesterday, to make plays like that, just what does that mean?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we need depth, right? We need competition. I thought Tyson had a really nice day again today. Jordan Lewis had another good day today. So, and I love, Jarian's got the right energy, the way that he approaches it, I really have appreciated. So, it's great to get those guys, quality reps.
Was Travis hesitant today, first day of defense, a little bit out there, or did you have a chance to really?
I didn't really notice. Yeah, I didn't really notice. It's like so often in defense, especially in scripted stuff. You're not always sure where the ball's going to go, and so often as a DB, the ball may not come your way for numerous plays, so you're just kind of working your own technique and fundamentals. But I'll ask the defensive guys and be able to watch the tape and have a better idea.
What was your first reaction when Chad picked Trevor off?
Yeah, I mean, with one hand as well. Thank God I hit him in the chest. Got tipped. He was throwing the ball down the field to Parker. Gets tipped right in Chad's hand. So, those are the moments where you're pissed at first, and then, hey, good job, Chad. So, I think we've just had too many tip balls in general over the last few days, whether it's the O-line's got to get their hands down, quarterback's eyes have to be better, because, that's happened a few times now.
You mentioned that a bunch, the opposite of something good, the side of the defense does something really dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you think you're ever going to get used to that?
Yeah, who knows, man? I don't know. It has to be that way, though, right? Like, at the end of the day, I am calling the plays on offense. I am responsible for all sides, but specifically that's something that I'm, a little bit more invested in that way. So there's definitely a little bit more personal. I script the plays, so I get a little bit more pissed when they don't work.
What kind of start has Parker had?
A really good start. I've been pleased with Parker, man. I think if you're talking about guys that's gone up and made plays when the ball's been in the air, he's done it. And, he's got the right mindset. He approaches work the right way every day. He's strong. He can kind of work second level releases on people when they try to get hands on him. I've been very pleased with Parker the last few days.
It's only been 3 days. Can you appreciate a different vibe when Travis has an offensive day versus a defensive day?
Yeah, I think, you definitely feel it a little bit, just because we're offensively, just by nature, maybe a little bit more of a quieter group, just in general. And so, when he is over there, there's just a little bit more, you know, I don't want to call it life because I thought they were focused today. It wasn't that. It's just, you know, he does have a little bit of a vibe around him. And so it does help kind of create that on offense and brings a little bit of juice for sure.
Eli Panko had a couple of good catches today. Just what have you seen out of him so far?
Yeah, Eli's worked his tail off. He's strong. He's physical. He's got to continue to work on flexibility and just kind of being able to be loose as an athlete playing the receiver position. He's worked his tail off on special teams as well. So he wants to do right. He looks you in the eye when you're coaching him. He's a good kid.
And then kind of the same thing with Joshua Cephas. He had a catch yesterday where I think he fully extended for it in 7.
Yeah, Josh has made a few plays. You know, he's got to get in shape right now. You know, he's got to get himself in shape and make sure that he's not, you know, the next guy up in those instances where we have to sub. You know, he's got to be the one ready to go right now. So, you know, been pleased with some of the plays, though, that he has made.
You talked about this during the offseason, but what do you really look for from the offensive line during this kind of setting before pads come on?
So much is about communication. Like, all we really want to make sure is, all right, we break in the huddle the right way, which we started to see a lapse as the practice went. Are we attacking the line of scrimmage the right way? Are we getting up there and communicating all 5 and more to the tight ends, quarterback, back, all those things at a high level, right? And just making sure that we're targeting the run game properly, which I thought we did a better job of today in general. Just not having a, you know, unblocked player because of a missed targeting issue. I thought we targeted our runs better today, and also they're responsible for the protections in a lot of ways with Trevor. So just the communication, playing as a group, because you can't ultimately see the full physicality scale right now.
As a follow-up to that, is this almost the most frustrating part of camp with all the off-season work and now just wanting to get those pads
That's
on?
right. Yeah, a lot of the guys, you could tell, you know, want the pads on. They just kind of want to get to that point. It feels like we've been in t-shirt shorts for a long time now, and they're right. They are. It's not quite football. It's still not. I mean, football is, as we all know, a very physical game, and it's meant to be played that way, and ultimately you can't really do it until you get the pads on.
A couple more, guys. We good?